Hi guys, it's Val. Welcome to my studio, and today I wanted to give you a little demo on some basics of block carving so that you can create your own one-of-a-kind block. All right, so here we go. We're going to dive right in. The tools you are going to need are tracing paper, a little tape, your pencil and pencil sharpener, your carving tool. I like to use an X-Acto knife as opposed to the straight blade included in the carving tool, but so it's more optional. And then your substance that you are going to carve on, or your block. And this is called Speedy Carve. It's a great material. You can use fine detail, but also do basic blocks. Great for kids and beginners, okay? All right, so diving right in, we're gonna take our drawing. The reason I use tracing paper is that it will allow you to do your drawing, flip it over, and trace it back onto your block. So this is very important when you're doing words, right? Because you have to do the mirror image. So you're going to place your drawing on your block. This is when your little tape comes in. You tape it on your block. I reuse my tape a lot. That's why there's little pieces with cat hairs included. All right, so we're going to get that guy on there. One of the things about this material is that if you have a nice graphite, your pencil, really good pencil, has done a nice graphite layer on your tracing paper, you can rub it down. Using your fingers, you can rub that design down. And you can see it transfers. Where I didn't push, hasn't transferred. But you also can draw with your pencil. A lot of times I draw with my pencil because it allows me to connect with the drawing again and learn, or figure out, I should say, what I'm gonna carve out and what I'm gonna leave. And it's a very important thing when you're gonna be doing your block, is that you have to decide, am I gonna carve out this flower or am I gonna carve out the background? All right, so for me, I would probably carve out the background. So I know I'm gonna carve out these spots. And a lot of times I'll mark them and I'll have my drawing next to me when I'm carving, because if you have a detailed drawing, it can get confusing. So we have transferred this for the most part on, and now it is time to carve. Personally, I like to wait to carve out my shape until I am done doing the initial carving, but it is always an option. First thing I always do is outline my block. But what's really important is to know how to hold your tool. So the tool fits in your hand, palm of your hand like this. I'm sure you've seen tools that have like big round knobs. They fit right here. There's straight ones, but the whole concept is to hold it like this, because we are using this small little blade. Sometimes it's a big blade, but still, same concept, that we need to make sure that the way we hold our tool gets the most use of that blade. So you're gonna hold it at a, I don't know, it's about 30, 45 degree angle, just so to not bury the tips of your tool. Very important that you don't go so deep that you bury. What you're gonna do is then you're gonna, pretty decent pressure, but not, again, not so much that you're gonna bury it. So that angle that I'm holding my tool is essential. If I hold it up too high, I just bury my tool just like that. That's no bueno. All right, so instead, we are gonna hold it more of an angle. And if you notice, I rotate my block. I don't keep turning myself this way. No, instead, I take and rotate my block. All right, so it makes me keep the tool straight. So you also don't want to go sideways with your tool one way or the other. All of those things will create more of a rough carve, and you want your carving to be really detailed and clean. We're also going to go, you can see, I will rotate my block. And if you notice, oh, look, see, I just buried my blade. I'm just gonna come right out. That happens. So you can see the difference from this to the way the blade should work. So it's not the end of the world, because guess what? I'm carving this part out. So it's not going to be the end of the world. And I'll just start right back up and rotate. All right, so the next thing you do after you do your basic carving of your outlining, you're going to need to clean out your background. To do that, you're going to want a bigger tool because this will take a long time. So we're going to change our blade really quick, because then we will talk a little bit about getting your block to the phase of printing. Excuse me as I try and get my, this happens with these guys, you have to have finesse. All right, here we go. Okay. Now the same concept in how I hold my blade, even though it's a larger blade, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna cut out larger portions of my background, going right to the edge of my circle that I have already outlined. Turning my block, but keeping my blade in there. You can see how it starts to look. All right, now, as you can see, it would be a really long video if I did this whole block. So I'm gonna show you what this guy looks like when I'm done. Well, this one's slightly different. So this was the first one I carved. So obviously, if I was gonna create this shape, I would have left more out here, right? So this one will be cut right to these little guys. But as you can see, I carved out the background here, right? So all this little texture stuff, if you don't cut it down deep enough, you will get ink on that and it'll come out on your print, and it is called chatter. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, that's up to you. Now, as you can see, this is what the ink is gonna be on, and this is gonna be your background fabric and or paper. So there we go. We are now ready to start carving. I hope everyone has a great day. Please feel free to email me if you have any questions, and happy carving.